Welcome to Talk is Deep, episode 6. I think An was supposed to say that. Is it 7? We are on episode 7. Siete. So, thank you for joining us on this very special episode. We have 2 special guests. Give it up for Ngan and Taylor and Ngan. So, guys, we have all gathered here for one thing and one thing only.
What is it?
To roast our parents.
Tea time.
Then get the fire and get the oil, because Mama about to get it, okay? But listen, how was it living with your parents? Like, for the first maybe 20 years of your life, did you guys find it a good time?
Well, you know, my hair graying. So it's just a little stressed. But I don't know. I feel like for me, I had very strict parents.
Oh, really?
Like, they always wanted me to stay close. They wanted me, they actually tracked my phone for some time too.
Yeah.
Wait, really? Yeah, they did. Oh yeah, I guess no one knew that, but yeah, they tracked my phone, like, you know, some kind of stalker shit. But no, they were very protective of me. Especially me being a daughter. I think that's a different dynamic too.
Oh yeah.
So I always felt like they were very overprotective. What about you guys?
I had pretty strict parents too. I usually had a curfew. You guys have curfews or something?
No, I
used to.
Dude, I come in at 3 a.m.
Wow.
That's the difference. It's a guy or girl.
Yeah, there's
Yeah.
a difference between raising girls and raising boys.
Especially the oldest girls. We get the most shit. And
No.
we're really?
No.
You
For me, I think I get, they're more lenient on me. And my brother, but probably because he's a guy. But, with Truth, she's, they're stricter on her.
Oh, poor baby. I hope you're okay.
They were really strict on me, mostly because
Yeah.
I'm a girl and I was the only girl. So I had a curfew and at 12. That's not that bad, but as a 22-year-old, that's kind of
Oh, so you still have this curfew?
Yeah, I still have it.
Oh, we better start filming this shit.
Wait, have you ever tried to be Mom, I'm 22, or Dad, I'm 22, I shouldn't need this, I don't
Yeah.
shouldn't have to deal with this, or something like that?
Yeah, they understand that as an adult I should have more freedom.
Yeah.
They're more lenient now. They're letting me go out more, but they still they're still set on that curfew because I live in their house and I need to follow their rules.
Oh, that's such a toxic. Well, is it toxic? But it's it's controlling. It's too controlling for me.
Yeah.
It's restrictive.
Yeah.
Yeah.
With me, I live with my parents now because I like saving money.
As we all do.
Because rent is too damn high.
Wouldn't know about that.
We're filming from our friend's apartment. He can afford to live by himself, so it's fine.
Okay, but yeah, Peter, continue.
But it's kind of being roommates. You know, my parents are my roommates now, where I get to go and do whatever I want, live my life wherever I want,
Date whoever you want.
Yeah. There's no rules on me, and I just eat dinner with my parents and help out with chores.
Oh, that must be the worst to eat with your parents. Jeez.
I think for me, they gradually gave me more freedom as I grew older. Obviously before, when I was doing school, when I lived under their house, when you're living with your under your parents, obviously there's gonna be a compromise, right? They're paying for your food, they're paying for rent, they're paying for your living area. So in exchange for that, you're gonna probably have to help around with chores. You're gonna have a curfew if there's one, and because it's there's a trade-off for everything, I feel. But for me, when I started getting older and started showing them signs of me being able to support myself better, that's when they started getting more lenient and obviously allowed me to do more things that say my other friends wouldn't be able to do. And yeah.
Right, sorry to cut you off there.
Yeah.
So it seems like we have lenient parents, and you 3 have more of the strict parents here. So, because I honestly don't know, can you describe to me what the expectations that your parents have of you, that would impact your lives, or does it cause you do you get anxiety? Do you get frustration from this?
What are the expectations your parents have of you that maybe you don't want to pursue something and they force that upon you, or anything like that kind of like still affects you today?
Well, my parents, so I told them I was going to do business, and they were like, whoa, business? Damn! So then I was originally going to VCU for marketing.
Ooh.
And they said, marketing? Because they always thought.
Your parents tend to repeat a lot of the words that you said.
So basically, they were like, why are you going into marketing? Because if a business fails, the first people that will go are the marketing people. Mm-hmm. And I was like, okay, well, I just got accepted to college, just want to live my life.
Yeah.
So for the first 2 years, I was on track to pursue marketing. And then when I had to declare my major last minute, I actually switched to business management and admin.
Ooh.
But, I'm still thriving right now. But I think, they always...
Right, yes. Deserve a clap for that, yes. She just parked her titties. We all get demonetized.
But...
Strike.
But in all honesty, they were always like, you have to find a profession that's going to make money because we raised you to the point that you are going to raise us later along the line. And that caused me a lot of anxiety because I always see people getting jobs in internships when they were in college, and I didn't get that. And they would always be like, okay, well, if this person is doing it, why can't you do it? I'm like, damn, I'm only one person.
That comparison.
And so that's why I go to therapy now.
Wait, did your parents put pressure on your education pursuits as well?
Well, at first when I went to VCU, I declared my major as forensic science. Mm-hmm. Most parents, they want doctor, lawyer, engineer.
Same
so here. I think over time they accepted it, and then I switched. So I'm going into back into the medical field, so they're fine with it now.
Did you do anything to show them that they were maybe you got good grades and they're like, okay, she can pursue whatever she wants?
My GPA kind of low. But
I know it ain't lower than mine. That's not a competition I want.
But I think over time, at least with my mom, she is definitely more supportive than my dad in terms of career choices, which is weird because she's more stricter than my dad. But I don't know. I think it's kind of just at that point they're just I just want you to be happy and do whatever you want.
That's good. That's good. What about you, Taylor? It doesn't have to be school or anything related. It could be literally anything.
What I actually want to know, Taylor.
Yeah.
Have your parents put any pressure on you in your relationships?
Oh. My relationships, as in romantic?
Romantic, yeah, or friends too.
Oh yeah, so.
Because if they know you hang out with us, Jesus.
Yeah, so a lot of my expectations mainly revolved around academics. If I didn't do well in academics, then it would affect everything else in my life.
Yeah.
So honestly, I didn't do the best in school, so that kind of affected how my relationship with my parents now. They're very strict and very controlling. And I guess over time now, they've gotten more lenient as I've started improving in school.
Yeah. But
back then they would put a lot of pressure on me to do well, which is really normal, but it kind of gave me a lot of anxiety and depression because I don't know, I was only just one person. They didn't understand my mental health, and they just kept pushing me.
Yeah, I think that's a big thing in the Asian parent community. They don't really understand how draining it is to have a bad mental state. You know what I mean? They don't really take they don't take mental health seriously.
They always told when I was in college, it was so easy.
I'm well, it's not a competition.
What's so hard about college? You just go study and then you do well, right? I'm it's not that easy.
Do you guys think that our parents kind of, when they, obviously they're all immigrants, they came to the States and they are here to give us all better opportunities, but do you feel sometimes they push their dreams onto you and those expectations are the things that they wanted to maybe achieve for themselves beforehand but never had the time or didn't have the resources, and now they want you to succeed the way that they wish, they could have succeeded? Could that have been?
I had this conversation with my dad.
Yeah.
That must be nice.
I was talking
for those who don't understand context, I don't have a dad. That's just never met him. Anyway, go ahead.
Okay.
Top that.
Yeah, compete with me now.
This was a competition. Okay. So I was talking about how hard going to school is for a lot of people, and how hard academics and everything is now, especially like how everything's based off of tests and you have to, have the highest GPA, go to the best schools to look the best. And he was like, when I was rude. When I was a kid, when I was your age, I had to go and hide.
When I was your age, we're all the same age.
No, his dad.
No, sorry.
Maybe you paid attention to the
We've been
gap.
trying to film this podcast for the longest time.
Sorry,
and now I'm
Peter. Okay.
Sorry, Peter. Please.
But he was like, when I was your age, I spent my time hiding in my parents' friends' houses and like going house to house trying to avoid getting drafted into the Vietnamese army. And then he was one of the boat people. So like, if you don't know, those are refugees from Vietnam after the war who fled the country on boats and had to be rescued at sea and taken to the refugee camps. So my dad doesn't talk about that with me much, but it's like they came from like, especially a Vietnamese like parents and stuff. They come from like a literal war to a country where they don't know language or culture, and they had to make a living for themselves. So I can see the disconnect there, but I mean, like, I'm not saying like my experience is anywhere near that, but
like, by the way, not to even undersell, that's amazing that our parents all done that. I can't even move down the street. I don't even think I'm comfortable doing that. I'm scared to go to the doctor's appointment by myself. For our parents to not know English, to not know to do that, that's brave as hell. Like, yeah. But go ahead, sorry.
Interrupt him one more
Sorry.
time.
I just wanted to sell that point to Tina Smith, who's on Facebook.
But yeah, I don't think they understand because it's like a different type of like struggle, different type of pain. Where they're worrying about a lot more like physical stuff and like overcoming. I think it's more straightforward for them. For us, especially in school, there's like a lot of pressure that they put on you and you put on yourself. Just comparing yourself with other people. And it feels like sometimes you're trying to race to keep up.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I think.
No, keep going.
For me, like my parents, they never like pushed academics on me. I think it was just kind of expected, and then they always knew that like, okay, you guys are good kids. Like we don't need to tell you like to study and anything. But I think a lot of it was like the pressure that I put on myself, comparing myself to other people.
And I think like I had that same problem too, because my mom's like the chillest mom in the world, and I never had like the discipline from a parent to like as a consequence if I did bad in school. So we kind of had to teach ourselves like, of course I have to have this standard for myself for education, this standard for myself for a job or whatever. And I think that's where I feel like I've missed out on, because my mom was just too lenient, and in a way it has made me a spoiled person, which I'm working on now. And it's made me had to be self-taught and all these things. So in a way, there are like negative connotations of having a lenient parent and having to be like self-taught, like these things that other people, like your parents probably like,
Well, my parents whooped my ass. I don't know what I did as a kid. I honestly was not that bad of a kid.
Were you rude?
Oh,
Well, she is rude now.
Frenemies.
Okay, well, there's this one, I don't know why, like, as a kid, you just do, like, irrational shit.
Sure,
so one time, my brother had, like, a tutor over.
Go on.
And I don't know why, in my mind, like, I had no beef with his tutor, but he was there, and my mom was like, can you go say hi to him, because he's, like, an older, like, dude. So I, like, came in, I was like, I don't have to say hi to him. This is my house.
Oh my god.
So she was
How
like,
old were you?
I was like 7.
The
like,
audacity.
So my mom was like, come here.
Oh, no.
And she whooped my ass after that. I was coming out crying. And she was like, go tell him you're sorry. And I was like when you do that, like, breathing, like, kind of crying shit, like, I'm sorry. But I feel like my parents has kind of, like, chilled ever since, like, there's, like, so many times where I got my ass beat, where, like, one time my dad was like, go pick the thickest thing you can find in the house and put it on your ass so I can whoop you with it.
Dude, you just ran.
And I was like, oh shit, I'm gonna die today. So I bought a phone book. And I like.
Why would you do that to
I
yourself?
bought a phone book. No. Like he didn't. It was like it wasn't the weapon.
Oh,
like,
okay.
He had a stick, but the phone book was gonna go between my ass and the stick. Like between your cheeks.
Between the cheeks. Oh no, I see what you're saying.
My ass is here. The phone book's here.
Oh, that's kind of smart.
My dad placed a fucking phone book on my butt.
Just dropped it from the side.
And he got the stick and he hit me so hard that shit split in half. I felt fine. I was like, okay. I was like, god damn. But I looked at the fucking phone book and I was like, god damn. It took all the pain from me. But yeah, like, so I feel like my parents has kind of like chilled ever since like the first day. But then like as I grew older and I started to understand like things more logically and they were able to reason with me. They had more like talks with me. Whenever I would get in trouble, they would like actually just sit down and talk to me like about what I did, what they expect from me, and things like that. So I feel like in my experience, like my parents were semi-strict, but as I grew older, things got a little better, and my relationship with my parents now is like really, really good because I'm able to communicate with them in that way.
I think you've earned the trust over the years.
Yeah.
So like, Ngan and Taylor, you guys have said now that you kind of earned the trust of your parents and they're kind of more approval. But if you're comfortable, can you name a time when like maybe you were at like your wit's end with your parents? Like it was really frustrating to like it was an unfair kind of rule or some kind of expectation that you felt?
I feel like mine's not like super dramatic or anything, but it's like I think my parents just still care a little too much. Like
I mean, like I remember sometimes you couldn't even come hang out with us because it was just like after a certain, it was like 10 p.m. Like you couldn't come out and hang out with us. Like
I mean it's changed because I think like back then it was kind of like me always going out. My mom was always like, you don't even have a job. Like where is this money coming from?
Right.
But now like that I have a job and like I have like grad school plans and everything, it's kind of like okay, you're kind of you have it down.
And I think that's what they just want you to be secure, and then you can kind of do whatever you want.
Yeah, that's the proof.
But it's like their idea of security.
That's true.
Yeah.
Their definition.
It's like
of what it is.
at least money's coming from somewhere, you know. But
as long as you're paying rent, you can do whatever you want around this house.
Yeah. Well, what do you guys feel like how you were raised, like affect you a lot as an adult, like how you act or cope with things or things like that? Like what are some like experiences where you feel like the way that you were raised changes who you are as a person?
I think because of my parents like being so strict and like I did get my ass whooped as a child like a lot. Like for real, like I'm just saying like my high pain tolerance. My high pain tolerance, like I have a high pain tolerance now because of those times.
You heard that, fellas?
Fellas. Like people say like, oh shit, like do you not feel that pain? I was like, no. Like
my parents like didn't hit me a lot. It was just a lot of like
psychological.
Yeah. It was just like a lot of it was just like a lot of it was just like loud screaming.
That too, but like I've gotten really jaded from it. Like I'm more scared of my dad when he yells at me because he's like a really loud talker and he like screams. But I'm more scared of my mom when she's mad because like she's super irrational. Like I can never reason with her and like.
I don't think you can reason with an Asian mom. Like,
no, for real, because you get in a lot of arguments and like
mine are like Catholic, so it's also like worse.
Oh no, do they hate you with the Bible or something like that?
The cross itself.
Jesus' name, amen.
No, so I feel like I mean I'm not Buddhist, so I wouldn't know, but like I feel like them being Catholic also adds like another level of stress.
Yeah, I think because Buddhism has like, they just make you not eat meat for a while. They're just like,
shake your head. Like for us, like we have so many rules.
Sorry. There is actually, I just remembered, thanks to our off-tech crew here, one punishment that we had to kneel in front of the Buddha statue, but they would put like frozen peas on the ground or some shit like that.
What kind of Buddha never had that shit?
Rice. Sorry, it was rice.
Oh.
Because then you could just wash it later and eat. But like that was a punishment that I didn't have to go through because my mom was chill. But I saw other people that had to do it, and I'm like,
it's apparently.
Now, Peter, I've met your parents, and your parents are like very chill. I don't think they've ever made a hand on you. Yeah, they drink.
Your dad funny as hell.
Your dad cool as hell, though. I don't think he's
big
ever.
ass camera.
If his dad ever hit him, I feel like his dad would build a robot, and so he would be like, "All right, Peter, stand here." Did you learn your lesson? No. Okay.
Kind of shaking.
Quivering.
Kathy's like, does that exist? Can we do that?
Well, they used to
Really?
when I was a kid. So if you haven't, you don't know my dad.
No one knows
he's
your dad.
Peter.
he's right here right now.
Just look, copy and
Our
paste.
special guest star.
Insert picture right here.
But he's white, but not white. You know what I mean?
He's a colonizer.
You know what I mean.
Sorry, I just noticed Spider-Man.
So wasn't like as strict as like most Asian parents, and like I think at first 10, 15 years like he was like that, but like a typical like a typical Asian parent, it's high standards, always A's, always do the best, whatever. But I was kind of a shitty kid.
You? Really?
Yeah.
I could not see that.
Like, were you a gangster or
Did
something?
you get like a B or something?
No, I was just like,
Like, you just didn't try
You
in
just
school?
had attitude?
yeah, I just had attitude, like an angsty, like
Oh, he, like,
Ooh.
hair over your eye. Like,
bowl cut.
oh,
Like,
man. Just kidding. I would have seen that.
and it wasn't really until like college when when we had that space, our relationship kind of like evened out, because like we used to like fight a lot over like the most ridiculous stuff. But like ever since like I left for college and like had my own separation in life,
Yeah.
and things are like we could talk like adults and like communicate like effectively.
And low key, not that it's like emotional or anything, but when you first live on your own in college, there was a bit like of time where I'm like, damn, miss my parents a little bit.
Oh my
Miss-
God,
like
yeah.
you realize that you took for granted the things, the little things
I was
that they
living
do.
like trash.
I got so homesick. Like
really?
I would go home like every weekend, and then like every time my parents dropped me off back at school, I would cry.
It would get
Really?
emotional.
Yeah, so I had to
'Cause,
like stop myself from going home, so I would get used to like being at school.
Oh, man.
Were you like that?
I did not miss them. I did not.
She's
I was
like,
as soon as they left, I was like, bye, mom and dad. I just went out. I was like, bye, I'm out here.
Because I think for me, like growing up until like at least college, I didn't think my parents were like strict or like they were super like overbearing. But it's like when you get that independence and you like. I'm older now, it starts to like click.
Damn, this sucks.
That's like, oh, and I can do my own laundry? What the fuck is that about?
I get mad at my mom when she does my laundry at home.
She doesn't do it the right way.
No, it's not that, but it's just like, because then she'll yell at me, it's like, you're not home enough to do your own chores, and I'm like, don't touch my shit!
Like, save some chores for me, bro.
Yeah,
Like,
so,
But I mean, that sounds like guilting. Like,
yeah, but at the same time, she's like, you always look so exhausted when you come home, and I'm just like,
there's the care. It's like, it's a
yeah,
care
it's like
side.
that,
You know
and
what I
then,
mean?
but then it's like the backhanded like slap where
Oh,
it's
the
like,
backhanded compliment, yeah.
you're not doing your laundry, you're being lazy type of thing.
Oh, man.
Oh, like like when you're like, oh mom, you need help, and your mom's like, I don't need help, and you come out later and she's like washing the dishes, cooking all the meals, and she's like, nobody helps me.
like sometimes my parents wake up like really early in the weekend and they start doing like gardening work.
Vacuuming.
No, like one time they were like setting up the Christmas lights and they were like, Peter, can you come help us? And I'm like, we'll do it tomorrow or something, right? And then like I wake up next morning at like 10 a.m. and they're like outside doing it. I'm like, oh shit! I gotta go outside.
I just don't get their need to do chores like at fucking 5 a.m. Like, it'll get done. Like, just let me do
I think
it.
it's an old person thing.
Okay, honestly,
Yeah.
no, but honestly though, like when you like have your own like place to kind of like you have to start taking care of yourself. Like you see, like now I understand why my mom freaked out about me not cleaning my room or like the house is not clean when she comes home from work. Cause like now that we're all working adults, we're so like I come home and I'm like fucking exhausted, and if I see like a mess in like the room, I'm just like, wow, I have to clean this shit up too, you know?
No,
So
it's like an
it's
irritating.
irritating.
Sight, yeah.
It's like when you forget to take the chicken out of the freezer.
That anxiety when you get like
Or like a
rice
chicken
and
pot
they're like
pie.
rolling in the driveway and you're like,
You forget to
press cook on the rice cooker.
Yeah.
But now you realize like why they were freaking out because like. Damn, that chicken takes forever to defrost.
Yeah,
so
chicken in any form takes forever to cook.
Even a pot pie.
Especially a pot pie. Good thing none of us would order that.
Yeah, but I want to go back to the topic of like how your parents, like how they raised you affected you, and if there's something that they did that you would change when it comes to raising like your own children.
I think like raising me wise, I think my parents like did a good job because otherwise like I see like when I work at Lifetime all the meetings like the
Feral.
White
I
people
see
kids.
them like behaving so terribly.
Yeah.
And I'm just like, damn, I have great parents. Like, they raised me well. Because I'm just like, who raised y'all? I have to raise you guys when, like, I'm teaching you guys.
Right.
Hey, can Peter do his impression?
What?
Do the white parent impression. That was really fun.
Daryl. Don't do that. Stop running.
That's dead. That's all
That is so true.
Jimmy, go to your room.
Shut the fuck up, Martha! Like, okay, I just saw literally yesterday, I saw an episode of Dr. Phil, and this is why I think not beating your kids, but hitting your kids is okay. Like,
Just
one good smack, like, I don't care.
Well, no, that can happen. Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, that's what I'm a believer in that. But I like white kids, not to generalize, some white kids are they live without consequence, and some parents enable their behavior.
Like they don't have respect for their parents
They
at
don't,
all.
or anybody, or any adults, because there's no consequence.
Like,
There's no
I see them
repercussions.
like call their parents by their first name.
I don't even know my
I'm
mom's
just
first
like-
name. I thought my mom's name was Mom for like a good 20 ass years of my life. And then when the bank said Tina Smith, I was like, who the fuck is Tina Smith?
But it's so weird because like we would have to apologize to our parents for nothing that we did. We would purely exist,
Yes.
and they'll be like,
Because like, we're like older than you guys, so you have to show respect. But like, you're the one in the wrong though. Like, why do you have to apologize
Oh
to
yeah,
you?
they'll never acknowledge.
Like,
but then white parents be like, I am so sorry. Do you want me to bake you a cake? And I'll be like, damn, where did this come from?
Yeah.
It's a whole different culture with white kids. Or not to be, I mean, I guess you come close.
yo,
yeah.
them suburban kids, man,
They
they're
got
different.
it good. They got it good. But they're going to learn one way or another because thankfully our parents taught us that. So when we go in the real world, people are nasty out here. We don't have to defend ourselves. When white kids go out and someone says something mean to them, they're like all fragile. They're like, oh my God, I'm going to sue you. That was so mean. You know, they're not tough. They're not built for this world because their parents have never disciplined them enough and prepared them enough for it.
We were raised on the streets.
Okay, well, no, I think it depends on circumstances because I know like my roommate Caroline, like she has white parents.
Oh, right.
But the thing is like they would be strict on her, like especially her mom. But I know like there's one difference, like if white parents are strict versus strict Asian parents, because Asian parents will hit their kids.
Yeah, that's true.
White people, like they will yell, they will like talk to you, they
Ground
will,
you. Like,
yeah, ground you,
you're-
but they would never. I feel like white people would never hit their kids.
Unless you're from the South, because I see those like.
God damn it, Jimmy!
I wanted to shoot
I feel like Southern people are very strict and they actually do hit their kids.
And that's a wrap for today's episode. Thank you for watching and listening. Please comment, like, and subscribe down below, and stay tuned for more episodes. Thanks, and bye!